Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is the big man Boisterous coming to you with some Masters League Magnificence from the Zelnaga Caverns. Down here in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Terran Goky, and up here in the top right-hand corner, we have Rubejuice, the blue Zerg. As this game opens up, we have both of them exchanging their mana and getting ready for their game. Does not look like we're going to see a 6 pull out of the Zerg, which would be kind of crazy, especially on a map like this where it's so easy to defend this ramp with just a couple Marines. Both of these people not going for anything crazy. I don't think we're going to see. There's going to be no extractor trick out of the Zerg or anything like that, so he's not going to be going for any sort of insane timing push. Also, it looks like we have Goky going for the averagely timed supply depot, and I mean, honestly, for this map, I'm going to have to favor the Terran. As far as just this map goes, because these two choke points are just so easy to defend with tanks and a planetary right here. It basically just constricts all the movement on the map, and if you really don't need your third and you just don't take this base, then I mean, it's just so hard for the Zerg to get in and do any fatal damage, because this is just a nearly impossible position to flank up here. Both of the players are again going for something standard, I would say. However, it does look like Rubejuice is going to be going for the 15 hatch build, which is something that I just really don't agree with, especially when you're playing against Terran, because it's just so easy for Terran to get that kind of to get early pressure up and to really punish that kind of thing. Especially if you don't scout, and I don't think he actually scouted. Yeah, he didn't. I really just don't agree with going for a 15 hatch, because if Goky was 2-raxing, then the game would just end right there. You can't defend against 2-rax pressure with a hatchery. It's either insanely difficult or just straight up impossible, depending on the map. And on a map like this, where your natural is so open and you can just run up your ramp, I'd say it's impossible. Right around impossible. But it does look like he was lucky enough to get in and steal the gas, which means that there's not going to be any insanely early siege mode, which is what you really have to worry about when you go for that type of 15 hatchery build. Because as soon as he gets those insanely early siege tanks out, there's really nothing you can do about it. He can just walk his way into your base, just leapfrogging those siege tanks one in front of the other. And the bunker, this was going to be a very light bunker harass, even if it did go up, because there were no Marines even running up. I think that was really just a distraction to get some drones off the line, and I'm not sure how effective it was. I mean, it is going to stop these drones from mining for a while, which, there they go, they're back on minerals. So I really don't think that was worth it for Goky, or at least it's not really all that worth it. It does look like we have the factory going in for Goky, so this is going to be a pretty standard either Hellion opening or siege tank marine or tank marine timing push. It does look like it's going to be a Hellion opening, because he isn't going for a heavy 1 base pressure. He's going to get that command center up. So I'm guessing that it's going to be, he's going to switch this factory off with this reactor and get out some 4 just red flame Hellions to try to freak the Zerg out and kind of get the Zerg into a mind frame where he's afraid. Because really, red flame Hellions don't do that much. Even if you drop them, I mean, it still takes the 4 shots from a Hellion to roast the drone instead of the 2 with blue flame. And that's really just not enough damage to be all that worried about it. I really think that, I don't know, I prefer to see the blue flame opening out of it with a medevac drop, because if you get a good blue flame drop, you're going to roast at least 10 drones, most likely, and there's a very low risk to it as long as you can scout out your opponent's base and you don't see a super early Spire coming out of it, because if he started going for a layer now, the blue flame drop would still be done by the time the Spire got up and Mutalisks were out, so there would be, you know, literally no damage for Goky. He would just be able to fly in, roast some drones, and fly on out. It does look like Rubejuice, excuse me, is going to start spreading his creep right now. I would have preferred to see that a bit earlier, and also, he has an amazingly low saturation on this base. I'm surprised that he's going for such heavy Zergling numbers this early, considering the fact that he did sacrifice an Overlord. And, I guess he did see this reactor, and I think that scared him a little bit, but I don't think he has to be worried about anything. And really, I mean, I prefer to see Zerg, if they're in this kind of situation, instead of going for the speed lane kind of thing, just go for a spine crawler here, here, and in the main mineral line, which he's already done. So these are just Zerglings that are just not drones, and that's a major issue for your game, especially if you only have the 5-6 drones mining, and now it's down to 5 because he's going to take this extractor. I think he's gonna drop a spire now. Yep, there it goes. And yeah, I don't think this was really worth it. And we do have the red flame drop coming in, because I don't think this factory has been on anything other than this reactor, and I definitely think I would have seen some blue flame coming up. And we have the stim pack going up for the Marines. I think he's going to transition into, yeah, he's going to transition into Siege Tank Marine, which is an extremely effective build against Zerg, just because it's pretty hard to deal with a Siege Tank line and Mutalisks that don't counter Marines all that well. Yeah, these are just going to be red flame Hellions not doing anything. I'm surprised to see these 3 creep tumors go down. I don't know. That's an interesting choice of things, especially considering the fact that now he just has these 2 hatcheries which aren't getting Marvin checks because all their queens were up on the high ground trying to defend against that Hellion drop. But I guess that he didn't know if it was going to be blue flame or red flame. And I actually liked that play by Goky, trying to kind of scaring off those Zerglings from the Xel'Naga with his Hellions. I'd like to see him go for some more map control, but it would be kind of hard to get. I mean, yeah, with this metaback, I think he could definitely go for some more map control. And he did just scan the Spire, so that's pretty good for Goky. He's going to be prepared for those Mutalisks well before they are up, and the missile turrets are already going down, one in the natural, one at the main. And this base still is not fully saturated. I mean, whenever I'm playing against the Terran, I always try to get this natural as fully saturated as fast as possible, especially if I go for something as risky as a 15 hatch, and then it pays off. I always, you know, if you want, that's a very risky thing to do against Terran, and if you really want to keep that risk going, you need to drone it as fast as possible. Or he's just going to catch up and you're not going to get a lead out of it. It's just going to be a completely unnecessary risk.